got my signal. Unleash hell.
Nice shot! Hit the enemy! Good job! We destroyed an enemy ship.
People should know when they're conquered.
Hey everyone, DFA here. Welcome back to the channel. We're taking a look at the Rio de Janeiro here, which is the second ship offered in the Blitz pass for this month. It's been in the game for quite some time, I never had my hands on it. And what makes it special is its armament. 14 for 305mm guns, that's one thing, but also the 20, so 10 on each side, 152mm guns. And I managed, as you saw in the intro, to get the reload down to around 4 seconds by using the secondaries reload modification. Yeah, that thing comes with something kind of unique at tier 5, the secondary overload, reducing the reload speed by 20%, so you can take them to fire a little bit below every 3 seconds, and that's actually pretty fun when you get it in the right circumstances. Let's take a look at that thing in action right now. And yeah, it's a typical tier 5 matchmaking with a little bit of everything, CV, destroyers, cruisers and battleships. And yeah, that thing, I don't play of course too much tier 5 to be honest, but yeah, I decided since I did not have that thing, why not take it as well as the Almirante Grau in the Blitz pass. Yeah, because I had heard that it had really interesting secondaries, and indeed boy it does. But yeah, it's actually mimicking kind of the Atlantico, and that's probably what we should expect one day when there will be a line of pan-American battleships in the game, is that it's not super mobile. It does have a ton of guns which are remarkably inaccurate and quite ineffective at range, but boy it does compensate for that in the secondaries department. And yeah, it's actually pretty nice with the camo like that, right? It's actually a beautiful ship. And so concretely, what do we do with that thing? Well, it's not super quick as you would expect, but that's not a big deal at tier 5, so you really try to get it in those circumstances when you can actually unleash hell and use that secondaries overload. Keep in mind this is tier 5 engagements at less than 8 kilometers, because that's what your range will actually become with the secondaries overload, 8 kilometers. They're actually quite common, and yes, people will actually be doing that kind of thing pretty often. Remember, this is tier 5, it's a tier 5 ship, so that kind of engagements are fairly common. So yeah, here a cruiser is thinking that it's going to be using torpedoes on us, but it's not going to fly very far, and you see that I am saving the secondaries overload for the next engagement, because I do have a Congo right in front of me, and this one is going to be a lot more annoying than that cruiser. So there you go, bye bye, and now we can actually focus on what the Rio does best. It's not a long-range sniper, it's not a Giulio Cesare. You see that even within 6 kilometers, I don't know how many guns was it already, 14 guns, they have issues spanning that Congo, who's probably not the best protected tier 5 battleship in the game. But as soon as you activate that secondaries overload, you start really literally spitting fire, and that's what you should be keeping it for. So yeah, the Rio, it's still half pets by the way, Jesus, even at that range, so yeah. It's really kind of mimicking the Atlantico, but at tier 5, in that you have those stupidly powerful secondaries. Well, they're not as broken as the Atlantico, of course, and you have that really poor performance at range. I would say that the main difference between the two ships lies in the armor department, where that thing takes a lot more damage than the Atlantico does. It's actually fairly vulnerable, and you kind of have to pick your battles. But yeah, we're already at, what is it, 160 secondaries hits in that game, so Yeah, it can actually be quite fun. So we do have a second battleship lining up in front of us, and our secondary's overload is not yet reloaded, so remember the range on that thing, it will be a little bit less than 8 kilometers, so you have to think carefully about activating it. Yeah, and it's actually pretty tricky because yeah, between all those Germans, battle cruisers and these things, yeah, I do activate mine a little bit earlier. I think I just played a couple of games with the Stefan and yeah. So I do miss quite a few hits with that thing, but it's okay, we're still going to be able to use the secondaries to get on target with that Wyoming. And as you can see, even with a 4 seconds reload, they do pack quite a punch. Oh yeah, sure enough. Bye bye. So yeah, the Rio de Janeiro, certainly not the best tier 5 battleship. I think the Giulio Cesare is overall more flexible, and that thing is actually a bit too slow to really be enjoyable or to really be super flexible. So you kind of have to pick your engagements with that thing. Remember, the armor will not suffice when you will be faced with 1 or 2 other battleships. It's not an Atlantico, it cannot tank until you get close enough to use your secondaries. And yeah, as you can see, the speed, it's going to be quite annoying catching that bog who's actually running away from us. Yeah. So yeah, it's only when you're targeting cruisers and aircraft carriers that you can actually get footpan and citadels with the guns on that thing. They're really underwhelming, and yeah, I cannot really activate my secondaries overload yet because I am not within 8 kilometers, and yeah, it's going to be... nah, shit. So I think it's a really perfect gameplay to show you that that thing can actually be pretty frustrating as well, and quite a lot of fun at the same time. And yeah, I could have activated there, but that was a little bit too late.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Yeah, it's always entertaining to see the CC getting sunk by a tier 5 CV, right? Yeah, but that was a good one. That was a good one. So a tier 5 gladiator, the Rio de Janeiro, certainly is, and it is more than the Giulio Cesare, who's a bit more agile and a bit more adept at long range. Let's actually fast forward to the end of the game so we can see how much damage we dealt with our secondaries in this one. And so yeah, overall I think the Cesare is still the better one, but this one, it's certainly a nice addition to, and a nice complement to the Blitz pass, because let's be honest, the tier 8 ship, the Almirante Grau in the Blitz pass, it's not a very good one. And so let us take a look at our performance in this one. How much damage did we deal with our 10 152mm guns? It's a little bit too quick. Let's go back to almost 27,000 damage at tier 5. Not bad, right? Not bad. Allez, see you soon, stay safe, take care. That was DFA signing out. Bye bye.